name's Vanessa and I'm your homeschool narrowboat teacher, and this lesson is coming to you from Rickmansworth today on the Grand Union Canal. The sun is shining and we've moored right next to a beautiful park called the Aquadrome, where I'm going to be walking Zephyr after our lesson. So today we are going to learn from the national curriculum the Year 3 expectation of counting in groups of 4, 8, 50 and 100. But before we do that, we need to understand what a multiple is and what a multiple looks like. So I've drawn in my information box a diagram to help you. Here you can see that there are 4 pink squares. In this group, we have a group of 4, a multiple of 4. So in total, we have 4 squares. In this picture, we have 2 groups of 4. Let me show you. We have one group of 4 here and another group of 4 pink squares underneath. And we call that 2 multiples of 4, or 2 groups of 4, or 2 times 4. In total, if we start from the beginning, we can count and see that we have 8 squares, because 2 multiples of 4, 2 groups of 4, is 8. This diagram has how many groups of 4 this time? That's right, 1 group of 4, 2 groups of 4, and 3 groups of 4. And if we counted how many pink squares that we have in total in this group, we have 12. Now, these are my first 3 pictures for the multiples of 4. When we count in multiples though, we have to start from 0. So we would say 0, 4, 8, 12. And the next one is 16, counting on in 4s each time. Let's have a look now at a different picture, and this is for the 8 times table, or the multiples of 8. Here we have in this group one group of 8 circles, and we call that one multiple of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Have a look in this picture. How many multiples of 8 do we have this time? That's right, 2. 2 multiples of 8. One group of 8, 2 groups of 8. And in total, if we start counting from here all the way to this circle, we will have 16. But we don't need to start from this circle, because we know this one here is number 8, because that's what we counted when we got to the end. So we can carry on counting from 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Have a look at this picture. How many groups of 8 do we have this time? How many multiples of 8? Yes, that's right, 3. 1, 2, 3. In total, when we have 3 multiples of 8, we have 24. And here we have 24 circles. We could start counting from here all the way down to here, but we don't need to do that. We know that from here, this second group of 8 will give us the number 16. So we can carry on counting from there. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 3 multiples of 8, 3 times 8 is 24. And if we're counting in multiples of 8, we would start with 0 and we would say 0, 8, 16, 24. So when we're looking at multiples or calculating multiples or counting in them, we can identify by counting on in 1s in that group. So if I counted in groups of 4, I would count every time in groups of 4. So I would say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's me counting in 4s using my 1s. Or you can chant your multiples, stacks, off by heart, but you need to do that every day. And I used to do that when I was little. Chanting or singing your multiplication tables helps lock them in here. And finally, we can use patterns to help us. And I'm going to explain that next. Okay, looking for patterns. what I have done here is I have written out the multiples of 4, all the way up to 12 lots of 4, 12 multiples of 4. And I have left these next to the 13th multiple of 4 and the 14th multiple of 4 missing, because I think we can use our pattern to fill them in. I have deliberately lined them up because I want you to see what happens with the 1s and the 10s. Let's have a look. 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. Closely look at the 1s in the columns. Can you see they're the same number? Here are all the 0s, here are all the 4s, here are all the 8s, and here we have 2s and 6s. And that's because as you go through the multiples of 4, they will start with 0, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0, 4, 8, 2, 6, and they will continue in that pattern as far as you go, counting in the multiples of 4. Now see what happens to the 10s. Here we have 3 numbers that do not have any 10s. They have nothing in the 10s column. And we call 0, nothing, an even number. Here we move on to 2 with 1 in the 10s column, representing 10 as a whole number. And 1 is an odd number. So you'll notice that we have 3 even 10s, 0, 2 odd 10s, 3 even 10s, 2, and the number obviously goes from 1 to 2, 2 odd 10s, 3, 3 even 10s, 4. So after you've had your third 4, what would be the next number in the 10s column? Have a go. That's right, 5. Now 5 is an odd number, so we will only have 2 of those. So here we have that one there as well. So we have got our 10s ready in our 13th multiple of 4 and our 14th multiple of 4, and we know they're both 50 something because they have 5 10s. Let's have a look. I'll do that one in red so I keep with my pattern of colours. Let's have a look at the 1s. So remember, it goes 0, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0, 4, 8, 2, here, and 6. So our 13th multiple of 4 is 52, and our 14th multiple of 4 is 56. And we have used patterns to help us. So if you take your multiples, say you're learning your 8 times table, you can have a look for patterns. But actually, have a look at your 8 times table here. You can see that when they're lined up underneath the 4 times table, all of the 8 facts are double the 4 facts. Let's try 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. If you double 12, you get 24. So 3 times 8 is 24, because 8 is double 4. So doubling and halving is a good way to learn new multiples if you know their half even equivalent. Let's count though now in 50s and 100s because we haven't looked at those yet, so we'll do some chanting and then we'll move on ready for our activity. 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600. So you'll see each time you either have zeros in these 2 columns, the 10s and the 1s, or a 5 in the 10s column representing 50. So that's a nice one to see patterns. And very easy now, counting in hundreds. 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Now once you have 10, because that's 9 100s, when you have 10 100s, you move into the 1000 column, because 1000 is 10 100s. 1,100 is 11 100ths.
1,200 is 12
Look,
100ths.
they have the number 11 and 12 to help you. But remember that a number 11 is actually 1 10 and 1 1. This is 1,100 and 1,200.
Now let's get ready for the activity.
Pause the video and see if you can work out the numbers that are hidden behind the green squares. Use the things that we have spoken about to identify the missing multiples. So our answers were 16 was the multiple of 4 that was missing, 80 was the multiple of 8 that was missing, 250 was the multiple of 50 that was missing, and 1,000 was the multiple of 100 that was missing. How did you get on? Okay, let's just lock in what we've learned today. So when you're counting in multiples, we have to remember that a multiple is a group. It's a group of that same number repeated several times. You can learn your multiples by chanting them. You can count on in ones from the multiple before to find your next multiple. Or you can look for patterns. It's up to you. Good luck. Now it's time for Zephyr's Learning Lab. Whilst you're waiting for the next lesson, why don't you try some of her projects? Look out for patterns with multiples of 8. Make a boat which can float and carry 1 kilogram. Which 3 rivers meet where our lesson took place today? Interview the oldest person you know about their life. Enjoy! Good luck! See you next time!